The Galactic Council chamber was a cathedral of light and order. Crystal walls reflected the faint glow of 3 suns that orbited the sector of space, and thousands of alien delegates filled the vast hall. For centuries, this chamber had been dedicated to peace. Debates, treaties, compromises. No race dared speak of war here, for war was seen as primitive, barbaric, a relic of the past. But today, history was about to bend. At the center of the circular floor stood a lone human, Ambassador Elias Rourke, Earth's appointed diplomat. His dark suit looked almost laughably plain beside the shimmering robes, ornate carapaces, and bioengineered exosuits worn by the alien representatives. Yet there was a presence about him, a quiet gravity that made every eye focus on him. The Speaker of the Council, a towering, feather-crested Aurelian, adjusted her wings and said, "The human representative has the floor. Proceed." Rourke inhaled slowly, his gaze sweeping across the sea of alien faces, reptilian, insectoid, avian, crystalline, gaseous. They were waiting for another human plea for tolerance. Humans had earned a reputation as fiery but naive, idealists who thought peace could always be maintained. But Elias Rourke's voice was steady, deep, and edged with steel when he began. Honored council members, for decades, Earth has come here to seek harmony. We have argued for patience, for restraint, for diplomacy. We believed, as many of you still do, that peace is the highest virtue. A murmur of approval rippled through the chamber. Rourke let it hang for a moment, then shattered it. But today, I stand before you to say what none of you wish to hear. The time for war has come. Gasps echoed through the chamber. The Aurelian speaker's feathers flared in shock. Several delegates hissed or buzzed in outrage. A few even laughed nervously, assuming it was some crude human attempt at provocation. Rourke did not waver. He tapped a panel, and above him a holographic projection bloomed. Images of ruined colonies, ships drifting as burning wrecks, cities carved open by plasma fire. "These are the worlds of the Outer Belt Alliance," he said. "Human colonies, peaceful settlements, farming outposts, research stations, trade hubs. They were attacked, unprovoked, by the Drax Imperium." At the mention of that name, the chamber grew still. The Drax were a warrior species feared across the galaxy, their empire built on conquest and subjugation. For centuries they had been checked only by treaties enforced by the Council's unified military threat. But recently, the Drax had grown bolder, exploiting the Council's paralysis, striking at frontier worlds where responses were slow. "They came without warning," Rourke continued, his voice tightening. "They slaughtered settlers. They burned children alive in their schools. They broadcast the screams of the dying as a warning to all of us." The holograms changed, showing Drax soldiers towering over human corpses, their jagged armor slick with blood. "And yet," Rourke said bitterly, "this council debates. You argue over jurisdiction, over trade routes, over semantics. You call for patience. You hide behind diplomacy, while innocents are butchered." The crystalline delegate from the Los shifted uncomfortably. "Ambassador Rourke, while these images are disturbing, we must remember that retaliation." Rourke cut him off, slamming his hand on the podium. The sound cracked like thunder. "Retaliation? You call defending our people retaliation? No, this is survival. The Drax have tested the Council, and you have failed. If you will not act, then humanity will." The hall exploded in protests. Shrieks, roars, metallic vibrations. Some shouted about recklessness, others about balance of power. But Rourke raised his hand, and somehow his lone voice carried above them all. "You all call us young. You say humans are rash, dangerous, unrefined. Perhaps you're right. But maybe that is what the galaxy needs right now. While you hesitate, evil grows stronger. While you debate, tyrants sharpen their blades. Tell me, how many more systems must burn before you admit that peace is already lost?" A silence spread. For the first time, some delegates were listening instead of dismissing. Rourke's tone softened, but his words cut deeper. "Earth has tried your way. We have signed your treaties. We have trusted your protection. And our children are still lying dead in the ashes of our colonies. So hear me now. Humanity will raise its fleets. We will rally our people. We will fight the Drax with or without you." He paused, his gaze sweeping the council once more. "But if you have any courage left, if the idea of justice still means anything to you, then stand with us. Not as bureaucrats, not as diplomats, but as warriors, as free peoples defending a galaxy worth saving." The silence was absolute. Even the ever-chattering Insectoids Act delegates were still. Finally, a low rumble came from the Groth delegate, a massive reptilian being. His voice was gravel sliding down steel. "The Drax enslaved my ancestors for centuries. We Groth have waited for a chance to strike back. Perhaps the human speaks truth." The Aurelian speaker snapped her beak. "This is madness. A full-scale war could destabilize the entire spiral arm." Rourke turned to her. "And what do you think the Drax are doing right now?" "Stabilizing it." The chamber erupted again, this time with divided voices. Some furious, some inspired. Lines were being drawn. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council faced not just a debate, but a choice. Yield to fear or embrace war. That night, back in his quarters, Elias Rourke stood alone by the viewport, staring at the stars. His aide, a young lieutenant, entered nervously. "Sir," she whispered, "you realize you just declared war in the most sacred hall of peace in the galaxy." Rourke didn't look away from the stars. His jaw was tight. "I didn't declare war. The Drax did. All I did was finally say out loud." Over the next weeks, the galaxy trembled. Some species denounced humanity as reckless warmongers. Others sent quiet messages of support, offering ships, weapons, intelligence. The council was fractured, but the Drax attacks only grew more brutal, almost as if they had heard Rourke's words and chosen to escalate, daring the galaxy to stop them. And then, in a moment that shocked even the most cynical observers, the Groth Empire announced an official alliance with humanity. Soon after, several smaller frontier species followed, inspired by the human diplomat's fiery call. Rourke found himself at the center of something larger than he had ever imagined, not just a defense of Earth, but the spark of a galactic resistance. In the council chambers, where peace had once been considered eternal, a new reality had taken root. The galaxy would never be the same again, and history would remember the moment it began, with a lone human standing against thousands and daring to say the unthinkable. The time for war has come.